And she asked me, where are you from? I said, I'm from Nigeria. And you know what? She just bowed her head. And that was how she bowed her head till we got to where we're going to. She never spoke to me anymore. Hey guys, it's your favorite Mr. Sub. Hope you all are doing well. Glad to have you once again on my channel. Okay, yeah, people have been asking me questions about my stay in China, about how we're surviving, not just from here alone, not just from you guys watching me, viewing me, even from home. People have been asking us, hey my brother, how are you doing? Oh, we had this, we had that, a lot of questions. Like when the virus broke out, people have been giving me a lot of calls, a lot of messages. People have been asking me, families, friends, well-wishers, they are just afraid that, oh, their son and their family, my wife and my kid, we are all here. Oh, these guys, we heard of this thing, guys. Be careful, be careful. Oh, be careful. We had this. Some are even asking us, won't you come back? Won't you come back home? We had this. People are dying. People are this. A lot of calls, a lot of messages coming from home. And also you guys, some of you guys are here on YouTube, some also care and you're asking about us, asking about me and my family, how we're doing, our welfare. Well guys, I give it thumbs up. So how did we survive all these things that happen, from the facts of number one, the virus outbreak that which is still, some countries are still battling it now, and down to the issue that happened recently in China, where some people have been evicted from their homes. Africans, how did we survive all these things? And somebody asked me a question recently, but I won't mention her name on my video because I know she may not be happy. In fact, she doesn't even mind. She doesn't mind. This woman doesn't mind. She asked me a question. She said, haven't they evicted you from your home? I was like, oh, is that your prayer? Yeah. And she now asked me, when are you going back to your country? Won't you go back to Nigeria? Please go back, go back. I was like, oh, easier said than done. Just go back to your country like that. That's how it is, If you have huge investments, abroad, I'm just saying, before you take a step because of things like that, you want to go back, because you had this, you want to go back. I'm not saying what happened is good. It is quite, condemnable. On no account, should such happen. They're my brother men, people evicted from their home, meant to sleep, what's that called, on the street without food, without water. This is really, really not good, But our leaders should, have a way to balance the respect between, Africans, and, China. I mean, the bilateral relationship that we're having with them, there should be a way to balance also the respect that comes from it. So if this kind of respect exists, mutual respect exists, things like this won't happen, no matter what, it won't happen. So I think also our leaders have much work to do. Even my fellow Africans that have been, that had these issues, if you tell them to go back home, sincerely, I'm just speaking from my mind, most of them won't go back home because there's a condition that brought them out from home to this place. I want them to just go back like that because of, no, they won't go back. So it should be about settling this thing. So what am I talking about is how did we pass through all these things? People have been asking me, they want to know, are you in China? Traveled out of China, this is happening, are you, a lot of things, Number one, let me start with the virus that's, that is ravaging everywhere, that is going on, what's it called? I call it, it's going on, it's going on a tour. It's not a good thing anyway. It's not a good thing, It's not a laughable matter, but it's really bad. But how do we try to, as foreigners, stay safe during this period? Number one, we try to observe all precautionary measures. When it was really hot, at the peak period when it was really hot, we were indoor. I and my family, we stayed indoor for 1 good month. I mean 1 good month. We were indoor for 4 good weeks. Can you imagine being indoor for 4 good weeks? Even then I added weight, it was not even, no exercise. There was little no exercise. You were just indoor, waking up, eating, sleeping, things like that. Just indoor all through. It wasn't really healthy at all, And even at some point in time, I had to go out, once in a while, maybe once in a week, I had to go out and get some vegetables, get some, groceries, get some stuff, once in a while, I have to go out, do that very quickly. I'm back, and then when I'm going out, I must put on my, my face mask, make sure I wear my hand glove. There everywhere was just, was really, was really hot, So that was how we're just being extremely careful, extremely careful. When you're in a country where you don't have your father, you don't have your mother, you don't have relatives, everybody you see around you is foreigner, and okay, foreigners, when I mean foreigner, I mean the local people here, they are to me foreigners anyway, so they are, okay, let me call them the locals here, okay, the locals. So when you look around, you are seeing the local people here, the Chinese everywhere, and also we have some friends, African friends, but your families are not here, so anything you are doing, you must be careful, you must take a lot of caution, that's it. So we just took a lot of caution, so we don't have issues of running helter-skelter, somebody falling sick, and also by God's grace, we also we're able to excel, or let me say able to escape. We're able to move past this phase. It's not because we're just being careful, we're being extraordinary cautious, but it's just God that has been on all our sides. So if you have been able to pass through this phase of epidemic, it has not been by your own power. It's because God has been in care, or God has been in charge of your life. Psalm 127 verse 1, it says, if the Lord does not build the house, the builders build it but in vain. If the Lord does not watch a house, the watchmen, they watch it but in vain. If he does not watch a city, I tell you, those people watching, they are watching in vain. So it was God that watched over us, you and I, that is watching me now, and that's why we are all saved till this moment. Okay, so that was how we passed through the phase of the virus issue. And coming to the issue of the people being evicted from their homes, I know these videos were going viral, everywhere, and it happened actually majorly in southern part of China. It didn't happen in this side. We are based in the northern part of China. Even if it happened in the south or northern part of China, the truth is that it happened to my fellow African men, and it's really a painful thing. When I saw these things, I felt really bad, and I felt more bad when I discovered that some of African leaders sabotage the efforts that were made by some Africans that came out to stand against this, discrimination that happened during that period. The Nigerian consulate in Guangzhou stood against this stuff, and it was aired. And the next few days you hear our leaders coming out to debunk all the efforts, people trying to make efforts to salvage themselves, and you see somebody coming out, maybe because they are high authority, they have more influence in government, they are trying to sabotage all those ideas. We need one voice. So that's it about the virus issue, and as well this issue of eviction of people from homes. I'm majorly in the Guangzhou area, but I believe that things are getting back to normal, so that we can become the usual friends we have with Chinese people as it has been before. If our leaders back home can understand the struggle of an African outside the African continent and try to seek for a kind of mutual respect, not trying to place us below, so that we have an identity that we can carry anywhere and say, yes, we are Africans. Now let me end by telling you what happened to me sometimes. I've been a victim of this. When I came to this place some years back, I was in a train from Beijing down to my city. So when I was in the train, a lady saw me in the train, a Chinese lady. So both of us we never had seats because the train was filled up. So we never had seats. So we took these attachment seats. But the attachment seat is the one you buy. You buy a kind of foldable seat, and you sit at some vacant place in the train. So I was there, and she was there, and we never talked. Everybody was on his own, Luckily, there was a space. But I know she saw me, I saw her, but I was on my own, minding my business. So when there was now a space, and both of us now occupied that same space. So it's like from there we are here, and we're like, oh. So I now said hello, and she said, oh, hello. So we're like happy. I finally found a seat, because it was it's a long journey. I saw in her a lot of happiness. I even I was happy that we finally found a seat. A good seat to sit down for this long journey. But and she started talking about, then in her school they have a lot of Africans. She talked about a lot of things and blah 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 blah. And she asked me, where am I from? And I said, we have spoken for almost 30 minutes. And she asked me, where are you from? I said, I'm from Nigeria. And you know what? She just bowed her head. And that was how she bowed her head till we got to where we're going to. She never spoke to me anymore. I felt really embarrassed. I don't know how to explain how I felt when she just bowed her head, and never spoke to me anymore. I was really, really embarrassed. I was like, why? Because I'm a Nigerian? She lacks some understanding. She lacks some deep understanding that, you don't judge one person, or you don't judge the whole country just by one person. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's really, really wrong. Even in China, where I am now, I've met some really, really good guys. Guys that are really, really good. But it does not mean that there are people that are not bad as well here. No. Everywhere we have the good and we have the bad everywhere. Everywhere. So we don't judge a country by one person. You must know that every country has the good and the bad people, Maybe she had one past experience with a Nigerian, and she has generalized this experience that every Nigerian that comes her way, maybe they are bad people. But this is not how it should be. And this is the same thing that is happening outside Africa. When people outside Africa have one experience with an African, so every African becomes the same. They see you as somebody that is evil, somebody that is evil, somebody that is that is always harmful. This is wrong. It shouldn't be so. Every country has their own evil and also good people. Nobody is better than the other. See you guys. Have a wonderful time.